Edward the Blue Engine has the easiest history of any of the 8 famous engines. Here is his story. In 1895, the managers of the Furness Railway in the Lake District of England were interested in getting larger locomotives to service their line. Their locomotives at the time were all tank engines or tiny tender engines, and the management wanted something able to haul their expresses. They placed an order of 6 440 tender engines to replace their inadequate 120 class, or better known as the K1 class. The results were delivered from Kerr Stewart in 1896, the K2 class. Locomotive number 37 was named Edward after the Prince of England at the time. He hauled fast passenger trains on the route between Whitehaven and Barrow-in-Furness. However, the Furness wasn't impressed with the K2 class, and eventually they were replaced by the K3 and K4 classes. The K2s were put off to the side in secondary roles, mainly as freight engines. At this point, Edward was moved to the services between Barrow-in-Furness and Windermere. Another batch of K2s were ordered in 1900, bringing the total to 8. However, the K2s still remained on the back burner of the Furness's fleet as the real workhorses. At the start of World War I, several K2s were moved to help the construction of the lift bridge across the Walney Channel to Sodor. This took a number of months as it proved hard to cross the rough channel. Once it was finished, the director of the new Northwestern Railway, Nelson Had, sought out an engine from the Furness to run the main line. The Furness offered up Edward, which the Northwestern Railway accepted, as well as an indefinite loan on a modified LNYR Class 28. The Furness was willing to part with Edward, as they saw him as a shy steamer and not much use. Edward, the Class 28, named Winston, and an LBSCR E2 named Thomas, finished the line by February of 1915. Edward and Thomas were repainted into NWR blue, and Edward was given a tender striking a resemblance to a Fowler one, which was swapped out for a proper Fowler tender in 1925. Edward has been rebuilt many times, but he is still the old, wise blue engine we all know and love.